Okay, we will start now. Okay, good morning, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm assuming you guys can. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for taking some time off your weekend to come for this session. So before we start, let me introduce myself and my colleagues from AGT. My name is Adam, and I am one of the product specialists from AGT. And my other two colleagues are Naga and Nurul, who will also be joining me in conducting this session later on. So just to give a brief introduction on who we are. So AGT is a biotechnology company that specializes in children's genetics. So we conduct DNA tests to help with children development by discovering their inborn talents, potential strengths, and challenges. We test for up to 46 traits in total for 5 categories, namely their talents, IQ, EQ, personality, as well as their overall wellness. So our mission is to help you or parents to understand your children's strengths and challenges through their genetics and provide scientific personalized solutions or guidance to improve their life. So here is the agenda for today. You will have a first-hand look of what's inside our recently launched DNA test kit. Our home DNA test kit allows you to collect your samples yourself. So later on, we will also have a demonstration of how the Buccal swab process is done. And we'll end this session with a Q&A session. So feel free to type down any questions you have in the chat box, and our admin will moderate it. Or you can simply just ask us directly during the Q&A session later on. So without further ado, I will stop sharing my screen right now, and I will be showing you what we have inside the DNA test kit. So, all right, so here, can you guys see it? Okay, so here is our DNA test kit. So when you open it, what you will see inside, first thing you see is this Decode Talent DNA Test Kit Collection Guideline. So this is actually the instruction manual. So make sure you go through it. All the information you need to know and how to collect the sample is all inside this booklet. And make sure to just go through it, read it thoroughly, and you'll find it very helpful. Later on, what you have inside this kit is you'll find this very shiny aluminum packet. So what's inside this aluminum packet is basically your Buccal swab as well as your collection tube. So just for information, we are actually using the Buccal swab from this Italian company called Copen Diagnostics. So from additional information, Copen Diagnostics, I'm not sure if you can see the logo here, but Copen Diagnostics is a market leader in manufacturing sample collection kits. And they actually played a critical role in COVID-19 testing. So usually for COVID-19, they use nasal swabs. So they swab within the nasal region. However, for our DNA test, we'll be using Buccal swab. So we'll be collecting cells within the inner lining of your mouth. Then later on, we will have we provide some gloves. So these are sterile gloves. So make sure to put them on before you actually collect your child's cell sample. This is to prevent any contamination as you collect your cell sample. You'll also find these 2 stickers. So these stickers are actually your sample ID is very important. Make sure you attach it or you stick it onto the consent form, as well as the collection tube later on after you collect your samples. And lastly, inside the box, you'll find basically this form. This is your customer information form. So what you have to do is just fill up all the particulars, make sure it's all right, and read through the consent form. So after reading through the consent form, if everything is good to go, you can proceed to collecting your child's Buccal. So here we have your DNA test kit made convenient for you. All you have to do is just contact us, make a purchase, and we can deliver it to your house. All right, so that's all for me. I will now pass the time to my colleagues for the buccal swab demonstration.
All right, dear audience, so I will be demonstrating to you on how to perform at home DNA sample collection. So I would like to remind you again, before you proceed with DNA sample collection, you have to make sure your kid do not consume any food or drinks at least 1 hour prior the sample collection. So I'm going to show you now. The best way for you to collect the DNA sample collection from your kid is early in the morning. You know, once your kid has wake up in the morning before he even takes any food or drinks and no brushing teeth. So the best way, you know, it is advisable for you to tear the aluminum packet on top of it, and you can slowly push the collection tube out of the aluminum packet. So when you're taking out the collection tube, it will look like this. So you slowly open the collection tube to remove the buccal swab. All right, so you slowly remove the buccal swab here. Yeah. So please be careful when you handle this buccal swab because, you know, do not allow the buccal swab to touch any surface object, or if you drop it on the floor, please do not use the same buccal swab to collect your kid's DNA sample. Please, you know, give us a call immediately because you will have to replace this buccal swab if it touch any surface or falls on the floor. So I'm going to show you now how to perform this, right? So you slowly bring this to your kid's mouth and, you know, you insert it inside against the inner cheek cells. You twirl it against, you know, you have to put slightly a higher pressure when you're twirling it. So you twirl it in an up and down motion from front to the back and back to the front. All right, so it is advisable for you to twirl it at least, okay, at least for 30 seconds, you know. To maximize the DNA sample collection, you have to do on both sides of the cheeks. So for example, 30 seconds on the left and another 30 seconds on the right. All right, so maximum of 1 minute. You can just twirl it against, put a pressure. So this is just to ensure that we have collected sufficient DNA sample for the analysis. So once you have done, you have to put it immediately into the collection tube, right? So immediately into the collection tube. So once you have done this, the DNA sample collection, we have Nurul here to explain what you have to do for the storage of this sample.
Okay, so before you place the collection tube in the aluminium packet, please do not forget to stick the sample ID on this tube and then put it back in this aluminium packet and seal it tightly. And then after it's done, please reminded to place this collection sample at 25 degrees Celsius or below before you make a delivery. Okay.
So dear audience, one more important note. So if let's say you are signing up, you know, this Decode Talent DNA test for 2 kids or more, and you will be receiving 2 DNA collection kits or more if you are signing up for more kits. So it is, you know, we would like to advise you to unpack 1 collection kit at a time. You know, you perform 1 DNA sample collection for your first kit first, followed by the second kit. This is to ensure from you messing up the sample IDs together with the DNA sample, because it is, you know, really important to match the sample's IDs correctly with the respective sample collected. So that's all for DNA sample demonstration. I would like to pass to Adam again.
Okay, thank you, Naga and Nurul. So now we are moving